Welcome. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of our Galaxy and Beyond. And this is the Eclipse edition, literally, right? So we thought maybe we'll, do a show on something that's going to be happening currently in the future, and that's the total solar eclipse. So we basically want to make sure that if you plan to participate in that endeavor, that we provide you with all the necessary resources to do it safe for you and your whole family. Um, so I don't know. I feel like I want to stall it out, wait till we get a few more people in the room. So while we do a little stall, maybe we'll play y'all. That's another DQ banger. Um, and later on, I'll make sure I play the QR code. Maybe I'll do it in the middle, like Bobby Bang. We're doing the Cash App breaks, but we'll do it for Bobby Banger and just we'll do it for DQ. Excuse me, not a Bobby Banger. No, I am. We'll do it for DQ, so you can go ahead and support his endeavors. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has a new book out that's got pretty hot about bass fishing, and also giving sharing some of his family legacy on that, which I think is pretty awesome. And he's got some other things in the work for the future. Just a young Black man enterprising for sure, making sure he establishes and create some generational wealth for his family because he has a young son. So I think that's pretty awesome. And I always want to support that. But welcome to our Galaxy and Beyond with Anthony and Juju. And this is the Eclipse edition. And so this eclipse is pretty awesome. I think that's what I was really looking for, Anthony. So the sources that I'm working off of, it was so many. I gave all of you every source that I could find on it. And the reason why I did that, because if you look at the sources from where the information comes from for each source, like the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Planetary Observation Society, I'm saying it wrong, but there's so many different entities involved in like space exploration, space education, and things like that. So I not only gave you, every source, but they're from different entities. So you can also maybe get a little education on those different entities and see what they do. And I definitely placed some in there that were conducive for children, like Space Place. Remember Space Place? That's by NASA. And I think you just put in like NASA Space Place, it'll come right up. And there was one source, and unfortunately, I didn't do my homework right. Forgive me. It was a busy week. But if you just jot through the sources, you'll see it. But there's one that I thought was pretty awesome because it literally gave an in-depth perspective on how to safely watch the eclipse. But it even went into listing suppliers, stores, or places that you can potentially order from online that will have the right kind of safety protection glasses for you to safely view these total solar eclipse. And I think that's one thing we wanted to stress. And the reason why we did the show is for safety. You don't want people going outside using any kind of goggles, sunglasses, prescription glasses, the wrong filter for your glasses, the wrong filter for your phone, the wrong filter for your telescope, because they have all of those things. Did you hear me? Not only do you have stuff for your eyes and filters for your eyeglasses themselves, but you have filters for your cameras. If you're going to be viewing through your camera, taking a picture, even through your camera without the proper filter, it's dangerous. Okay. And maybe I'm starting it off a little weird, but I just want to express how imperative it is for you to have the proper equipment to view these eclipses in person, if that's what you plan to do. And we'll also show you the route it's going. So not to scare y'all, but I gotta hammer it down. So some of the if you are experiencing like discomfort or vision problems following the eclipse, They suggest you visit your local doctor or optometry in person for a comprehensive eye exam. But these are some symptoms, and this is not fun. Loss of central vision, distorted vision, and altered color vision. So y'all, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Just, go ahead and get you some glasses. So, and I'll go ahead and give you this before we get into the information, because we're just going to do a quick overview on eclipses, the different types, what's going to be happening coming up April 8th. And, the rest are in the description and those sources. So check them out for yourself. But what I do know, for those of you, see, this is why library is important. I think we had this conversation that libraries don't count no more, but they do.
Yeah. For some, they're becoming a relic to some. But
yeah.
They're very important.
They're very important. And so if you are a member or have a library card, or you participate in your local library, for the parents, you can actually check out the libraries. And one of the sources I read, they perhaps may have some free those eye glasses. They look like 3D glasses, the cheaper version, for you and your family. So that's one tip I'll give you now, is to check out your local library. So I don't want to hear nobody tell me about libraries don't matter. They absolutely do matter. So, because if you understand, libraries are going to be connected to your planetarium and these other agencies for educational purposes and for community engagement, especially the children. So they actually work as that medium. So libraries matter. So get your library card.
Yeah, you should have one.
You should have one.
At least to, demonstrate to your kids that you know how to use it. Teach it to them.
Right.
Like I said, yeah, we can do everything online. Okay, but take the time out and go to the library, go to a museum.
Make
you
it
know what I'm saying? It's awesome. It's awesome.
And of course, y'all know I got plenty of visuals for you. And this is a beautiful visual of, I love this picture. This is that's the sun. That's definitely an eclipse. But is there anything you want to say before we get started? Or, where did you want to start? Because it's so much, but we don't want to make it long. We did start a little later because there was so much going on today. So,
well, me. It's all about the science with me. So,
right.
That's where I like to start.
Go ahead and start with this.
But I will say this though, you did a magnificent job with the introduction, no doubt. I'm gonna give you. I think you should pat yourself on the back for the introduction, because you laid it all out. So
thank you.
I appreciate you, my sister. I really do.
Anytime, fam. Trying to make you proud. What you talking about?
Well, if that's the case, then hey, I am very proud, and I say I commend you on it's the journey, because you've come a very, very long way in this subject.
I keep trying to tell him, boy. I keep trying to tell him. This ain't no joke. I be studying for real.
But you see, it gets easier and easier
every time.
You know what I'm saying? When you had that, when you have a pretty good foundation, you can go in many different directions, and it's a lot of avenues in this one subject, but we kind of touch in a little bit of a lot of things, but we're able to do that because we laid the groundwork, and that's why I have to commend you, because you made it a whole lot easier.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna switch over real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick. these are the glasses that you want to get.
Yeah.
If y'all can see that. Now these are paper ones. They do sell some that look like glasses for real. And if I can pinpoint the source, I will. The one that tells you they need to have like ISO on them for sure to let you know that they've been like certified, because there actually is a whole production and science on how uh these glasses that are basically certified for eclipses are done. They go through a laboratory to be tested to make sure that they are fitting. So just take a little time out and go through all the sources and you'll definitely find it. But I just wanted to show you what they look like. And Anthony, I absolutely thank you for this journey. I think it's important for sure, not only to be scientifically literate, but to be actively engaged. So I like to say this is my way to be actively engaged, right? And the more I know, the more I can share with others. And yeah, it really changes, how you think about the world, your reality, your existence, So
Yeah.
yeah, even for me personally, though I may be scared on some things, we just talked about it. It definitely is in perspective, and that takes away some of the fear, no matter how it turns out. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and it was funny because I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson speaking on it. Um, I don't mean to take another direction, but he was talking about, like when he dies, how he doesn't want to be cremated, because he says when you're cremated, all the energy goes out into the atmosphere, into space, right? He wants to be buried because he wants that energy to be transformed, right? He wants all the worms. I mean, he said this explicitly. He wants all the worms and everything to eat him, so they can do what they do, and like manifest growth of vegetation and things like that. And I thought that was
Yeah.
very interesting. And it
Yeah, that is.
definitely interesting perspective, because not everybody thinks about that, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's a very interesting perspective. I guess you could say it fits into the circle of life.
it fixing to the circle of life, the circle of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mufasa told Simba about that. You become the grass and the animals eat the grass. It's the
Yeah,
circle of life.
boy. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know. Maybe I won't do this yet. I'll let you get into science. I'm going to show one more thing, right? Since I'm
Oh
on
yeah.
the safety, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so you don't have to look at the eclipse directly either, folks. If you want to do something fun with your kids, you can actually build one of these. And in one of those sources, it absolutely gives you the instructions to do that. But what you're looking here is a view box.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a way to view the eclipse, but you're not going to look at the eclipse directly. So basically what it does, it transposes the word, the
Mm-hmm.
image of the eclipse on the box for you
Mm-hmm.
to view. That way you're not looking nowhere near the sun. No chance of getting any damage to your eyes, or a possibility of blindness or anything like that. This is like the most safe way to actually do it, because you're not looking directly at the sun during the eclipse at all. They call it a box viewer or a viewer, things like that. And I don't know, y'all don't remember like making, I'm from Florida, so we were always engaged in that type of stuff. So we definitely, made
Mm-hmm.
these, in class.
We
Or
did this when I can remember doing this in elementary school for an eclipse.
exactly, it was definitely elementary school. So
Yeah, that was back in the 80s.
yes,
I can remember this.
so this is definitely a type of like simple technology that
Mm-hmm.
still is relevant, just to let you know, okay? And that doesn't, yeah, and you have to actually point the box in a certain direction. So yeah, there's like no possibility for you to even look directly at the sun. So
Yeah.
If you just, don't want to go through the hassle of trying to get glasses or whatnot, you don't have to. And I did read, I think Walmart and Bucky's. Those are the ones that I remember. I don't want to mess up and tell you someone's on the list, but for sure, Walmart and Bucky's was on the list. One of the sources for places where you might can call and or you can call them and see if they have them in stock, but they potentially may have some um, some of these safety protection glasses available for you and your family to view the eclipse. And I know some places actually have them in adult sizes and children's sizes. So yeah, I left all the information for you, and I think I've made my point. Just make sure you're adequately prepared and you have the right safety protection gear, pretty much, and you're taking the correct precautions for you all to enjoy this experience of a lifetime safely. So we're gonna get
Yeah.
into the science. Go ahead. We're gonna get into the
Yeah.
science, but I wanted to say one thing about this eclipse. The reason why people are making a big deal about this, because this eclipse happens every like 300 and something years, if I'm not mistaken. Did I get that wrong? I could have sworn I read that. I just know the next one ain't gonna come for a long time. Not this one.
Yeah, the total, it's a lot of things have to line up or have to happen to get that total solar eclipse.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a very, very fine line between what we think to be as perfection as far as the planets and the alignments and the movements, but that's all we know. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? What we know is what we know. But this planet hasn't always experienced solar eclipses or eclipses of any kind, and
Mm,
it it won't always happen. It's happening at this time when we are cognizant of what's going on in the night sky as a species. You know what I'm saying? So in order to get what we're about to get, it, like I said, a lot of things have to happen. So you have a round Earth, a spherical Earth
mhm.
that's tilted.
Uh-oh. Let me get you on the build screen. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me do this too. There you go. Hey.
Okay, you have
Hey.
what we would. This is a globe, $10 at Target, $10. But this is the best model of this planet that you can get to understand the things that we experience naturally on this planet. So we know and understand that the earth is a sphere. Those that don't, they just, willfully ignorant. We know and understand that it's tilted to 23 degrees. We know and understand that. And we know and understand that by the movements of the objects in the sky. We have a moon that orbits this planet every 29 and a quarter days. It's on a cycle. You can't, I mean, it's what it is. We can't go out there and change it. And nothing we can do about it. That's just what it is. And we also understand that that moon orbits this while it's orbiting the Earth. Its orbit is tilted 5 degrees from the ecliptic of the Earth. Now the ecliptic would be this going through Africa. the equator. That's the widest part of the bulge, or what you would say the bulge of the sphere on the Earth. If you, shifting your mind, you take that line and you extend it to the night sky, the moon moves above it 5 degrees as it's orbiting, and it crosses the ecliptic and goes to 5 degrees in its orbit. And it does that while the Earth is spinning and moving or orbiting the sun. Now, them 2 points where as the moon is crossing the ecliptic, this bulge right here, as it's crossing the equator, there's 2 points where it crosses the equator on each side of the Earth. Those are called nodes, lunar nodes, NODES. And the the astrology community has taken that terminology and kind of pseudoed it up a little bit, but all it is, scientifically, all it is the point where in the moon's orbit around the Earth, it hits the ecliptic. And it has a node for each side of the Earth. Now, to get a total solar eclipse, what we're gonna have or experience on April 8th, the moon and the Earth has to be aligned on the node at new moon. So new moon is when the moon is in between the Earth and the sun. Like I said, the Earth is spinning. So the nodes are changing as the Earth spins. The moon is orbiting the Earth. So when the moon hits that node, it has to be aligned with the sun. And that's how we get the total eclipse, the total solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Was that pretty clear? I know that was a lot.
No, I get that. And so I think I gave some visuals that are helpful, and y'all can do this at home with your children. Like this one piece, which is an interactive that reiterates what he just spoke about. And as you press the little eyeballs, it kind of explains the transition. But I will make a correction. So thank you from then till now. I got my facts mixed up. The next total will be in 2044, but it won't be for another 300 years that like the Fort Worth, Dallas area will be able to view that. So I think like how that viewing space that switches and becomes different. And I did have a visual that kind of illustrates that. I can't show, but yeah. So I just wanted to make that correction because yeah, it's okay to get it wrong, and it's okay to say you don't know, and it's okay to make corrections. So I just want to make that correction, and that's where I got the 300 years. So yeah. So yeah, everybody won't be able to see it. Unfortunately, in Florida, we're out. We won't be able to see it. I'm gonna have to sit and watch on TV. But I will say for those, and I was going to do this, I didn't get a chance, and I'm sorry, but I'm giving you what you can do so you can do it at home, all right? So what you can do though, if you are near a planetarium or observatory or anything like that, a science one, of course, call them, or any of your like science museums, call them, because a lot of times for these particular events, if it's where you won't be able to view it, usually they have viewing parties. And again, in the source box, I actually dropped one link. I think it's the Planetarium Society. They are actually having like a huge shindig in Texas where they're gonna have t-shirts and all types of stuff. because that's going to be one of the popular viewing locations. So yeah, just all you have to do is just call your science centers or your museums and see if they're going to have a viewing party. And I said that for the places who would not be able to view this in real time, like Florida. We have the Jacksonville a science museum, which is pretty awesome if you're in Florida. And Orlando also has a observatory in Orlando. And I'm from Daytona Beach, so the closest one to me would be Daytona Beach. And we have MOAS, the Museum of Arts and Sciences. So pretty much the art and the science in one, but they do have a planetarium. So yeah, and also check out your libraries. That's why I say libraries are important, because at libraries, they can give you more resources on how you can view the total solar eclipse if you're not in the viewing site. Okay. So I hope that helps. But I guess we can get into types of eclipses, because there's more than one if you wanted to do that. But before you do that, let me see if I can get y'all a pretty visual. Bam. There you go. There you go. I know.
While you doing that, I'm gonna shout out to the chat.
Oh, go ahead. Shout them out. Shout them
out. Peace to you, Miss Lisa Bennett.
Yes, the best mod, her and Omar. But peace, Miss Lisa.
Peace to you, my queen.
Flowers.
Peace to you there, Jesus Christ. Y'all getting it in Ohio. That's what's up. Make sure you take your safety precautions.
Yeah.
Can't stress that enough. Peace to your Mongo Slade, my good brother. Peace to you, Joel Armstrong. Miss Sakina Robb, peace to you. Madame Kimmett, peace to you. Appreciate y'all showing in. Jen, I hope, forgive me if I jack it up, but I'm sorry about that, y'all. Jen Guahan, peace to you. Appreciate you for showing up.
He's sorry. He apologized.
I apologize. Please forgive me. I like to acknowledge everybody that's, supporting us. Right. Fetty, Kalunga, peace to you.
Yeah,
appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, boy.
G.A. Price.
Work already.
Yeah, appreciate you showing up. Make sure you take that it's just to answer that question, I wouldn't advise doing that.
No.
Without a solar filter.
Exactly.
Now, at the point of totality, yes, you can do it. You can even take your glasses off, but I don't recommend that, because
no, don't do it.
As soon as that moon moves out of totality, you done. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't recommend that, but I know there's probably going to be people that do it, but no, I would say no.
I'm gonna say no, and that's why I said I went back up to the questions. We have a few more, and we're gonna answer them real quick. I would say no, and they have filters for your phone, so make sure you get the proper filter for your phone. Make sure that filter has ISO on it, okay? Because that way it's been like certified, or it's in compliance, okay? And that's in one of the sources. Here's another question though: where can it be seen? Wait a minute. I had a visual for that. Where can it be seen? But it's going to crisscross the United States. I think I lost it.
Yeah, I know coming up through
give me a minute and I'll show you
Southwest Texas to South Central Texas.
Right.
I do know that much, because that's the area I'm in. So
I got it for you. Hold on. I'm gonna show you where it's gonna go. Let me just change it up a little bit. Y'all know I'll be on point though with them visuals. All right, so this is actually giving you two. It's the gray line is the one you want to look at. That's going from your left to your right and up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to look at the yellow one, which is going from your right to your left down. Okay.
No, I think that one with the yellow, that was
It's
the one that happened back in
2023.
October.
Right. But
Yeah.
that's not, I'm saying for them now, that's not the one they want to follow. So you're following
Yeah.
the gray one that's going
Yeah.
from left to right and up. So it's going to cross through Texas. I think that says Missouri is right there. All those states in the middle. Ohio, I know it's going to get it. I think little parts of Illinois is going to get it. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
Little parts of Alabama is going to get it. Little parts of Mississippi, like the northern west parts of Mississippi is going to get it. Upstate New York looks like you might get it a little bit. Vermont and Rhode Island, upstate, you're going to get it. So y'all can check that out in this source. And here's a QR code too. So if y'all want to catch that QR code real quick, and y'all can get this, but I shared the source in the description box for you for that. So you could look at it in more detail. And I hope that answers your question a little bit. It's not going to be in Florida. It's not going to be in California. It's not going to be in Georgia, Carolina, Virginia, Maryland. We're not going to be able to see it. Okay.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Juju, and I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, I think y'all should still be able to see like a partial.
Yeah. So we're not going to see the total, but some places you'll get remnants of it. But it ain't. I'm just gonna go to the museum so I can see the whole thing. Like y'all gonna see it in Texas. I ain't finna play with it.
But right now, the weather is projected to be raining that day, so
nobody might not see it. It was like, if I can't see it, nobody will. No, I'm just kidding.
You cannot get a hotel room nowhere near this city for that day. Everything's sold out.
I think that's pretty awesome, though. That people are investing.
There's gonna be a lot of people upset that traveled here and won't be able to see it if it's raining. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But y'all just remember what's really happening while you're looking at that eclipse. There is an alignment that takes place simply because everything is moving. Period. Everything is moving. The Earth is rotating on a 24-hour cycle. The moon is orbiting the Earth on a 29-day cycle. And the Earth at the same time is orbiting the sun on a 365-day cycle. So things are gonna align. It's gonna happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's the rarity of them that makes them special. You know what I'm saying? It's because it doesn't happen all the time. It's actually total eclipses or eclipses, period, are counterintuitive because you would think it would happen all the time.
Right.
But like I was saying, when the moon is at its highest point on that 5-degree tilt, guess where the shadow of the moon is cast in during what would be a total eclipse? Shit, out in the space. It misses the Earth completely. You know what I'm saying? And because of that tilt, that 5-degree tilt, that's why you don't have an eclipse every month. If the moon orbited, just think about it. If the moon orbited on the ecliptic of the Earth, you would have an eclipse every month. You could see a total eclipse because it's gonna line up wherever it's at. There won't be any nodes. So that's the key. NODES, the nodes. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening with that streak going across that map. And to answer that question there, Jesus Price, Yes. And that's most eclipses happen over the oceans. Yes. And that's because it's the oceans predominantly cover the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why they're special to us, because the majority of people will not be able to see an eclipse over the ocean because they won't be out there when it happens. You know what I'm saying? The majority of people are on land. So just by default, you know, you're gonna have more of these events happening over the oceans because the oceans predominantly cover the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I'm gonna reiterate, and I think that's pretty much why I'm part of the show, because this is what matters to me the most, because I do understand that families and children will be interested. Some of you may not have heard it, so I'm just going to reiterate real quick, and then we'll get into types of eclipses just real briefly. And of course, if you want to ask your question, I forgot I didn't put it in earlier, and I didn't put it in the Discord. I'm tripping, y'all. I'm slow today, but go ahead and hit the link and join us on the panel. And we definitely want to make this more of an interactive show moving forward. So please do feel free to hit the link and come join us. Become part of the show. I'm all for that. And for those of you that are part of Discord, that's one thing that's fun about the Discord, because you always get first dibs on links. Yeah, and that's how it goes. But so one, the 3D glasses you had when you went to see the Wakanda 3D version are not going to work. Don't do it. Don't think because you're looking through a telescope that's a filter enough. And just because your telescope has certain types of filters, which they do, I learned this from Anthony a while ago, those are not going to work. Those aren't the right type of filters, okay? You have to have one specifically for solar eclipses, okay? So make sure you're getting the right one. And from what I read, there are some that are kind of like inserted into the telescope, and the suggestion was don't even get those. You need one that you can put right over the lens. Those are the best and the most recommended ones. And the research that I did for this come from the Association of Ophthalmology, the Planetarium Organization, and it was another association that wasn't so much science, but see, all these entities are in collaboration to make sure that people do it safely. What else did I say? Make sure, viewing it through your cell phone, that's not good enough. There are filters for your cell phone. There are proper filters for your sunglasses. There are proper filters for your own prescription personal glasses, plus the glasses themselves, whether you get the paper ones or you're getting glasses like this that are for eclipses, okay? So I just want to reiterate that. Again, I spoke about the library, checking with your library and checking with the planetarium. From what I understand, the library has a program, so parents or those of you who have families, try the library first for free glasses. And if not, I did remember, I said 2 stores. Buc-ee's was one. And what was the other store that I say? I want to say it was Walmart. But Buc-ee's is the one I remember. My brain is bad. I didn't write any notes, but there were others. There were like hundreds of entities or suppliers, whether you're ordering it directly from a supplier or whether you're getting it from a retailer, okay? And it was so interesting because there was one, he was a supplier, and they make like sheets of the film, so you can do all kind of stuff with it. I thought it was pretty awesome. I was getting deep. I was like, dang, I didn't even know they did all that. You feel me? So, but I guess that's how serious it is, because it is, again, science is a human endeavor. So that means all across the world, people are going to be preparing to view this. We're going to be the only ones in the, so besides the United States, do you know where else in the world they're going to be able to see this, or we're going to be the only landmass able to see it?
Mexico.
That's it.
The rest of it'll be in, if I'm not mistaken, the rest of it'll be over the ocean.
Over the ocean. Got it. You know so yeah.
And I want to address something real quick. I saw it earlier.
Yo, Afro Ninja, you funny. Y'all cannot say the word in the chat, bro. I'm trying to tell you. You have me laughing out loud for a little bit.
Mongo Slade, don't use nothing but some solar eclipse glasses.
Yeah, is this what you're talking about?
They tripping, yeah.
You lying. Mongo, I'm not playing with y'all.
He said he gonna stare right at it.
I know, right? Yo, let me tell you.
Please don't do that, my brother. Please don't. I beg you, please don't.
Don't be trying to gaze at the sun like them twin brothers.
Man, y'all funny, man.
Or anybody else. I ain't gonna mention other names. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Because you people are crazy for that. Tell people, you know, to gaze at the sun. Because people that don't know are gonna try to do it for this eclipse. Like they really gonna be trying to charge their chakras, charge their crystals and all kind of stuff. And this ain't that. That ain't what y'all want to do. I'm gonna tell you now. All right.
Please don't.
Keep your crystals in the house and don't be trying to gaze at nothing. I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna thank me later. Y'all, wow, this ain't that, bro. I'm trying to tell you. This ain't what you want to do. Y'all gonna be walking around looking cross-eyed for the rest of your life playing.
Yeah, that's gonna be one move that you regret. I promise. I know it's all fun and games right now, but please don't.
Nah.
At no point during this eclipse do you take your glass. I recommend you take your glasses off. Don't do it at no point.
That's why I start off the show with the symptoms. You know, do I need to read them again one more time before you go into the types of eclipses real quick? Peace, Akina Ra. How you doing, sis? Let me see if I can find it real quick. But no.
Peace, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm just cracking up because this was so
not playing.
Let me say this. I wanted so much to I did two things on this eclipse, and I wanted to advise you guys on the second one. However, I'm not gonna blame nobody, but when it came up so quick that I felt out of place, and so I didn't say anything, which I probably should have, because it was so much information on the second one that I really wanted y'all to kind of come in and help me elaborate on it. So since y'all talking about it now, because y'all said at that time I was on the panel that day, and so now that y'all talking about it, I'm glad that you dropped the link, because if I can, I want to throw in a few questions if I can, so that y'all can expound on it for me. And then
peace to you, my good sister.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And then when I have another presentation coming up on the hum. Have you heard about a hum? I'm not exactly sure which one I'm doing. I'm doing one on the hum. Because I'm about to go into a as above, so below thing. Right.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna go into that. And if I could have, y'all come into it for me and kind of go into it, because I don't go into space like y'all go into it.
Right.
Okay, so but again, just for the opinion of it, if you could, because y'all break down all of the planets and all of that, and I'm not trying to do that per se, but I'm into the mysticism. Do that make sense?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Well, all right, but I'm not trying to take this. I'm not trying to get into what I'm talking about just to take from the show. So I just want to throw that out there, and then we can get back to this, and then I'll come back and we can talk about that at another time. Is that okay? All right.
Absolutely. This right here. So I found it. I found a little bit piece when I walk around. So filters. Remember I told you they have to have ISO on them, and they have to be 1231-2 or 2015 certification. Like I left this in the description box so y'all can look at them, because y'all don't want to get bootleg ones too. See, that's another thing.
Yeah.
They say the manufacturer's name and address printed somewhere on the product. So this is how you know it's not bootleg. It's got to have the ISO number and the manufacturer's name and address printed. Okay. Because this is literally considered somewhat as like a scientific device, and they go through again a certification type thing. So they say do not use solar filters, and that means glasses for your phone, for your telescope, or any other way that doesn't have that ISO certification information. If it's torn, scratched, or have wrinkled lenses, coming loose from their frames, made before 2015. So again, if you're planning to view this with your family, please, please, please just take some time and go through the sources that are dropped for you. I'm trying to cover the most important stuff. That's why I keep reiterating some of this and repeating. If you've been here for the beginning, I'm repeating, but I'm adding a little bit because this is some of the things I wanted to show you about the certification on whatever you get to view the solar eclipse if you're in an area that is going to be in view sight. So I'll leave that alone, but I think we want to get into maybe the types of eclipses. So I'll go back to that visual, and I'm gonna let you have it. You feel me, Anthony? I'm just gonna be a student today. I ain't doing work. I'm not ready for no pop quiz. I am a little bit actually, but not like I usually am. So yeah, this is Anthony.
Well, I mean, just the explanation I gave is pretty much, the simplest way to put it.
Okay.
Now, when you put that up there, now that's just the different types of eclipses.
Right.
The first to the left is a partial. Like anyone outside of that line of totality, that's what you'll see. And
no,
that's
Zane.
the pictures.
Wait a minute. No, Zane. Y'all stop playing with me. Don't make me knock that outside the head. No, Zane. That's family. Go ahead. Sorry.
But this is what you'll see in a part where outside of that line of totality. You know what I'm saying? And that's the pictures that I showed of the one I got back in October, because I was outside of the line of totality. Now the angular eclipse, that's it's not a total, and you can still see parts of the sun, but the reason why the moon doesn't fully block it out, okay, as it's crossing that node, the moon doesn't orbit the earth in a perfect circle. It ellipses as well. So at some points it's closer to the earth, some points it's further away. So in the angular total eclipse, it's crossing the node, but it's at its farthest point away from the earth in its orbit. So it looks smaller. So the total solar eclipse, the one we're going to experience, the moon is closer to the earth in its orbit as it crosses that node. You know what I'm saying? So it blocks the sun out completely. Now, we know that the moon is slowly moving away from the earth. Very slowly. It's like a centimeter or something a year or something like that. So there's going to be a day and time when the moon is far away from the earth where it won't ever be able to block the sun out completely again. So, we're living in a great time right now to be able to witness this.
I think so. I want to address this from Jesus Price. So I did mention earlier about the viewer box, a way to absorb the eclipse without looking directly at it. And just, because it's safety. So just for safety, I'll share it one more time. That's why I be trying to stall him out, Anthony. Yeah, we showed this and we talked about, like, I don't know, like if y'all didn't get to make this in elementary school when you were a child, you missed out. I don't know what them teachers was teaching y'all, but the viewer box, yeah. And I explained how it'd almost be, it's impossible for you to look directly at it because the way it is, you'll be looking away from it. So, if look, if you have any questions, you're not sure, don't even fight it. Either make one of these with your child, and I have a source. No, you're fine, Jesus Price. It just gives me time to reiterate it. You good, fam, because I already know where you stand with the
We
science.
don't mind repeating over here.
Yeah, I repeat it. Okay.
Not at all.
We know this is for the babies too. So that's why I'm kind of being redundant. But yeah, and there's again NASA Space Place. I'm sure they have it somewhere on their website, and I may have gotten it from them, but I can't really see the sources. I'm just, I got my visuals up and that's it. And it was like 20 sources, but I put everything in the description box of the different agencies and entities that you can get information for this event and for future stuff. I mentioned how libraries is a good resources. Call them up, see if they have free goggles, glasses, the disposable ones usually for your family, the library, and particularly that'll probably be for those who have a library card or whatnot. And that you can get them from Buc-ee's, and I think Walmart was the other place I said. But just call some of your local retailers and see if they have a glassware. And then there are other retailers and entities that actually serve that have glasses like your prescription, but they're totally for like solar eclipses and things like that. Or you can get filters for your prescription, or filters for your telescope, filters for your phone. And again, I just show you it has to have the ISO on it with the manufacturer. It's got to be after 2015 or above. That's no bueno. So I just want to keep reiterating that without breaking your build, Anthony. But yeah, in the box thing, I think is the box observer or viewer is pretty awesome because it gives you a chance to have your children, which that's what I advocate for, actively engage in a stellar event. Well, this is stellar in Earth and the moon, but what is that, astronomical event? That would be considered astronomical event. Yeah. So
it's actually a phenomenon.
A phenomenon
that can be explained.
That can be explained. I'm not going to. Yeah, buddy. The phenomena that can be explained for facts. Yeah, but if anybody have any questions, we really did the show more to give you the resources for you to do this safely with your family and just tell you how to do it safely and to kind of overview what it is, where it's going to be. And, we weren't going to be too pressed for this show. But that's the other nice picture. It's a little different.
Why are they clowning about this box though? They is got me tripping, talking about they getting some
funny.
box.
I'm not playing with them in the chat, especially Joel.
Yeah, Joel and Mungo going in. They got me over here cracking
hilarious.
up.
Right.
Look at Joel talking about getting him an old Jordan box.
I know. Not the Jordans. Y'all is funny, bro.
They is acting up in this chat about a box.
Afro Ninja.
Oh my God.
Afro Ninja. If you use that old bike reflector, that's the last thing you're gonna look at. I promise you.
They acting like you shouldn't have told me that. Like
yeah.
Man, y'all gotta be crying over here, man.
Yeah, they wild. I'm not even looking at the chat no more because I'm just gonna be laughing. Just give y'all
that's how they acting like a box. You should have told me that.
Yeah, I thought y'all knew.
If I could throw something in there really quick.
Man, how is my fault? They're talking about a tennis shoe box.
The only thing I want to throw in there really quick is because you did mention the safety.
I gotta get this, y'all. Wait. They say, Mongo, you a fool, say a tennis shoe box. What? LOL, man. But that ain't HD features. I want that. I need a Gucci. Yo, Mongo, you ain't lied. I need that Gucci too. I ain't gonna even.
Yeah, I'm doing too much.
Yo. See, Afro Ninja, I'm gonna put you in time out. Hell no. Don't get me.
I tried to give him the
Don't you
benefit
get
of the
nothing
doubt
off
and
of
say a
Temu.
Jordan box, but damn.
Yeah, the Jordan box, because don't get nothing off
Right,
of Temu.
no, this
Yo,
Gucci.
This
Y'all wow, man.
See, thank you, Nicole. God, Lord, some sanity. I used to do Temu with a cardboard back in the day. Faxes, golly, y'all, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, not Temu. Don't y'all do it, Temu. Thank you for supporting the show, Nicole. Glad to have you here. That's what's up. Y'all hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that's fire. If anybody have any questions concerning this show, anything Anthony just said as far as eclipses, if you didn't understand something, we'll be happy to reiterate it for you real quick. But before y'all do that, I just want to give a shout out to DQ Hampton and make sure you support him. And with that said, I got a little something for y'all. So just one sec.
Let's talk money. Let's talk money. Let's talk money. Let's talk money. Let's talk money.
Hey.
Let's talk money.
Yeah.
Let's talk money. Let's talk money.
Yeah. Check.
Let's
Look.
money.
Paper chasing, racing to $1 million. Why you out here faking for 1 million followers? Hit the liquor store, baby, refill the bottle. So we're getting dope from a Brazilian model. That's me. Can't copy my steps, baby. I'm hard to follow. Lost City of Gold, Dallas, Eldorado. 4 or 5 packs, we gon' mix and match it. Vacuum to the one, then we send the package. Alright, incentivize. How my inner thoughts turn to an enterprise. Easy to enter her inner thighs. Boy, she hypnotized. Sadly mistaken, I've been a vibe. Plus, I monetized 50 to 20, 10 to the.
Yeah, boy, that's DQ Hampton. DQ Hampton, y'all. Make sure y'all support him on Spotify. Hit that QR code. He got some bomb pickles, y'all. So grab them pickles. And if you like fishing, definitely grab his book. His book is actually not just somebody talking about how their grandpa and their grandmama taught them fishing, but he actually gives a lots of science in that book. Like he gives the methodology to fishing, because it is an art. There is an art and there is a science to fishing. And I don't think people really get that. You just can't go throw a pole in the water and catch one. Yeah,
no, it ain't that simple.
You'll catch a fish, but you ain't gonna catch no fish. You know what I'm saying? Like that's serendipity. Yeah, you might grab one, but you ain't finna catch no fish. Okay.
No.
And you gotta understand, like,
you just practicing.
Time of day, you feel me? How fish behave, things like that. So I think that's pretty awesome. And I love fishing. Like, I'm a Florida Geechee. You already know I'm in Florida. So yeah, that's where it's at. And no, Afro Ninja, I tell you one more time, I said in the beginning, don't try to go watching that eclipse with the 3D glasses you stole from your child when they went to see a movie, Wakanda. I still have my 3D glasses from the Wakanda. That's not gonna work. Okay, it's not gonna work. Don't do it. Those are the same. And another fact I wanted to give you. See, that's funny. I ain't studied. I looked over the stuff for the eclipse, but I studied all the safety stuff, Anthony, because I knew you had it. But actually, the filters on the solar eclipse glasses are like 100,000 times darker than your sunglasses. Ain't that interesting? Because you might not think that, but that's what it said, and they have to be certified, ISO approved. Yeah. So just remember that. And this. See, do you really want to look at something like that with your bare eyes? I know I don't. I know I don't.
And that's why I want to reiterate and say that if anybody had the old glasses, like you were saying, that they make sure they don't use them again, like you were saying, because of scratches and if they've been bent. Because of that very reason, scratches and bent, and even with certain sunglasses that they may have that are approved for that because of scratches and being cracked or bent. Those very reasons are the same reasons that you have to get new ones, because the scratches, cracks, and bents are the same reasons that will blind you or give you those same formalities like glaucoma, you know, with the blue eyes or whatever, those
Exactly.
things.
Man,
So
you gonna walk
I'm
around
glad
here
you said that. Yeah.
blind
And
and
that damage,
cross-eyed, okay?
that damage is irreversible.
Irreversible.
So
Yeah.
you can't go to the emergency room and have a surgery to
Yeah.
repair it. It's
LASIK,
irreversible.
LASIK ain't
Yeah.
gonna work for you.
No, none of that.
You're done. You're done, son.
Yeah.
No,
So
there are no eye drops.
real. It's real.
Yeah.
So those who
But
want to
y'all
wear
go out and
Ray-Ban,
get y'all one of these. Go get you one of
my
these.
globe is
Get you one of these. What
older,
is that?
so I appreciate your beautiful blue globe. I have a black one that
Mhm.
it's on all by itself, and my cat knocked it down, so it don't work no more. But I was saying we need to get us a moon, right? Like the moon, right?
Well,
Because I
Yeah.
have a son. My son is right here. If y'all can see it on my thing right here, and
I
you see
see
my
you over
globe
there.
way
What's
over
happening,
there.
bro?
Hey,
Yeah.
But
Foster.
the moons we don't have moons, and so it'd be embarrassing for me to pull out my globe and my sun, and I don't have a moon that would have did for the eclipse. So I didn't even
Well,
pull
honey,
none
because
of it out. But I love your globe because it's dark blue, and you see what I'm saying? My globe is even older. But for us to get a moon model, that would have been hot, right?
well, that was
Yeah.
because before we
A
went
moon
live,
model.
Anthony was like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
looking
know.
for a moon. I need a moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to have a moon model, that would have been hot, you know, but it is what it is, you know.
I think that, well, I know they sell them. I've never bought one, but they have
I've never seen one.
models. They have models with the whole solar system, but it's
The
very
ones you hang up,
inaccurate
probably?
because the orbits are circular. You know what I'm saying? You don't have the elliptic type orbits on it, you know, but it's still a good tool to have. You know what I'm
Probably the
saying?
ones
It's a
you
good
hang up,
tool.
though.
Hit that link if y'all want to come up on the panel, be part of
And
the show.
what's that? What is it about the eclipse? Visual blocking of the sun that requires precise safety
looking?
precautions for a non-eclipsed sun. The sun is, we're at our distance, you know, we're 93 million miles away from the sun. So we're getting a lot of the gamma, you know what I'm saying? The ultraviolet lights, which is damaging to our eyes. You know what I'm saying? So you during the eclipse, it's blocking out the sun but you don't know for how long or that exact moment when the moon is gonna move over the sun. Move out of the sun's path. So that's why you can't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you just can't look at it. You can't take that kind of chance. You have to during the eclipse, you have to treat viewing the sun as if it's not an eclipse. You have to treat it that way. Because like I said, Rashawn, the damage is irreversible. And looking at the sun, I mean, it's just, I don't want to say foolish, just don't do it under no circumstances.
Right.
You know, without protection, under no circumstances. And I want to get this out too, because they were talking about flat earth earlier.
They were.
What flat earth people don't understand about this is that up is not this. With this, up is out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Out from the center.
Wherever you at on this planet, this spherical planet, up is out. So that's why when you flying on an airplane from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, you're not turning upside down.
Exactly.
From your perspective. You know what I'm saying? You have to change your perspective and understand that up is out. Because if you think on a globe, up is looking this way, no, you're looking north. You know what I'm saying? You're looking north. But when you look up, if you have to tilt your head back and look up, guess what you see? You see the night sky. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So to put that into perspective, when you on here, you're looking out. You know what I'm saying? That's up. So you can't do that on a flat earth.
Nah, you can't. Up is always out from the center, right?
Yeah.
Or something. That's what you taught me.
I
Yeah,
had to
go
throw
ahead.
that in. I was itching.
You're supposed
Yeah,
to.
it gets confusing though. I'm not gonna tell, you know, I'm
Yeah,
not
but
gonna sit here and tell. I guess once you really get to understanding from a different perspective,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it does get confusing. That I'm not gonna tell nobody that it won't. It depends on, because we talking about leverage of understanding, right? So
Yeah.
when you get
Mhm.
certain leverage of understanding, then
Mm-hmm.
we all can agree. But for flat earthers, we gonna say they stuck on that level. And then for those who understand to a certain degree, I'll say that, and that could be me. But when we get to another level where you and Juju at, and y'all on two different levels yourselves, so right, and that's where we
Mhm.
are. So we all at leverage, right? And some leverage to where y'all at. I only want to go so far, and I want to skip some of it and go out.
Well, you know, that's your prerogative, Miss
You know,
Sakina.
right?
And,
Because
and
some of it I don't want to know. I just want to, you know, some things you don't want to know, because I don't want to get into all the planets, because I don't want to visit. I don't want to get into that. I just want to go further out, because what I want to know is just grabbing them and putting them together. I just don't independently want to know. I know they're there. I know they exist. That's fine. You just see what I'm saying? But I really don't want to know. If I do, I know who to ask. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Right. But
When you,
because
long as you
they're
know where to go, when you reach that
right,
level that
right,
you feel like you need to know, and you know where to go, then we good. But
right.
you know, everybody is where they at. You know what I'm saying? And this, it's a lot. And you can ask Miss Juju, and I've been telling her that since day one. It is a lot dealing with astronomy. It's a
It is.
lot. It's a lot
It
going
is.
on out there, you know. So that's why I try to keep my my experiments, if you want to call them, down to, I try to bring them down to the simplest level that I can, because that's how I understand it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm on that level. And
Right.
but I don't have a problem with trying to get you up to my level if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But my level ain't that high. You know.
I appreciate that, but it's like when I was asking about the periodic chart, is that what it's called? The periodic
Yeah.
chart? Right. Now I know that all of it is relevant, but it's only so much of the periodic chart that I want to know, even though it involves a chart. It's only so much of it I want to know, because only so much of it is going to align with the universe, as far as I'm concerned, that I need. Do that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
When
it.
you say what you need, then nothing but respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you at. So that's cool. That's what's up. That's, to me, that's called integrity. You know what I'm saying? You understand where you at, you cool with where you at. But like I said, when you want to know more, you understand and know where to go. So that's what's
Right.
up.
And I appreciate that, because when I asked Omar, and he told me it was you. Did
Appreciate
that
that,
make
Omar.
sense? And I
Yeah.
appreciate him telling me that. And so I'm waiting on that part. And so, like I said, I'm not trying to interrupt this podcast with my stuff, because I just appreciated y'all doing that. But also, I wanted to bring to your attention this, and then I'm going to drop down. A few days ago, I heard about a star that is about to engage. They don't have the proximity of when.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the one to talk about it because I'm about done talking about that kind
What
of
you mean
stuff.
engaged though?
It's something like I think I saved a video so I can
We know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
what you're talking. We
We
talked
already
about it
talked
last
about
night
it.
on the
It's funny.
Discord.
I think
Right,
we
so-
talked about this last night.
Okay,
we actually
so-
did an impromptu astronomy club. We didn't do it on YouTube because we wanted to work
Okay.
out some kinks, but we still did some stuff in real time. It just wasn't taped. But go ahead. I know
Okay,
exactly-
because that's what I wanted to know about. Because I wanted y'all to kind of talk about it and enlighten me on it because I wanted to know about it as well. But I don't want to do it. Did that make sense? Yeah, because
Ain't
that's
no
not
big
in
deal.
my right. I'm working on something else but I do want to know about it. I do watch it on it and but I don't want to do it.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Anthony have it. But
Okay.
so it's supposed to do something before the end of this year, between now and the end of this year. That's pretty much what I got. But Anthony explain the rest to you if you like, because
Yeah,
I actually asked him the same question because I read it. You know, I'm
Okay.
I basically subscribe to every valid science site that I can find on YouTube because I think it's good to have multitudes because people have different interests. And
Right.
on Twitter, on Instagram, so I'm always coming to getting these what's new and current and things like that.
Right.
Some things I'm aware, some things I'm like, oh wow, you feel me?
Right.
So,
Right.
we talked about it last night, but go ahead, Anthony.
it's what's gonna happen there, Miss Sakina, is what they call a type 1A supernova.
Right.
And what that is, you have a white dwarf such as Sirius B,
Right.
and you have a star. It has to be a binary system. This is the only way this can happen. So that's two stars, and they're orbiting each other, a center point of gravity. The one star has become a white dwarf. It has went through its evolution, and now it's a white dwarf. But it's become a lot smaller. So you take the mass of the initial star and shrink it down to the size of the Earth, and you have a white dwarf. So it has a very strong gravitational effect. The companion star has gone into red giant phase. So
Right.
it's swelling up. And as it swells, the material becomes a little looser and less gravitationally bound. You have this white dwarf there. It starts to
Strip it off.
to siphon or strip
Siphon.
the red giant of some of its material. And as it starts to gain more mass, as the white dwarf starts to gain more mass, it has a runaway nuclear reaction that once it reaches a certain point and it flashes, goes supernova. Now it doesn't destroy the white dwarf, but it flashes off. It like I said, it doesn't destroy it. It blows up, but it doesn't destroy the white dwarf because it's an 80-year cycle estimated right now.
Right.
To be an 80-year cycle. So this is something that happens every 80 years. But it's called a type 1A supernova.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we're gonna be able to see the supernova this time, and that's why they make it such a big spectacular scene about it.
Well, this is one time when they actually have kind of predicted that this would happen. So
right. By observing, they've been observing.
Like like I was explaining last night, what I do with my equipment, I'm trying to capture a supernova in a galaxy as it happens.
Right.
That's like a needle in a haystack. You know what I'm saying? You actually have to be pointing. I mean, it's nothing but luck, because you have to actually be pointing at that galaxy at the time that light reaches the earth. Well, with this one, they're actually giving you a time frame of when it's going to happen. It's not down to the day, but at least they can tell you it's going to happen between now and September. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's the difference. They're able to predict when you're going to see this take place, and they know exactly where it is. I hadn't gotten the coordinates of where it's going to be yet, which I'll get it eventually. But that's the prediction or the predictive power of science. You know what I'm saying? Just like with this eclipse, they got this eclipse predicted down to the minute.
Right.
And that's the power of science. You know what I'm saying? You take data from the past, you compile it, you analyze it,
right,
and you come up with predictions.
Dang,
and if those predictions hold true, you onto it. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta understand it.
We try to mimic the brain, trying to be more predictive because it increases our rate of survival.
Come on, that's where I'm trying to go. That's where I'm trying to go. Come on, that's where I'm trying to go.
If your science or whatever they telling you, if it don't have any predictive power, get rid of it.
Man, the chat is off the chain. I'm not even playing with you. I'm finna move. Y'all is hilarious. But I wanted to add there's wilding in there. They are funny. They talk about the vitamin moon. They talk about the eclipse.
Yeah, they going ham tonight.
Oh my God, the clip. Bro.
They talk about your vitamins and carrying on, right?
But what I wanted to add is so he said it, but to reiterate, you know, that type 1 supernova is with white dwarfs. You know, we talked about this. I think we discussed this in the show when we talked about white dwarfs. So y'all should check that out, right? Because there's different types of supernova, and the fact that they thought they've only observed one. That was back in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And there's actually two, so that means there perhaps be more when they theorize that could be some, but you know, like actually finding one is wild. So these type 1 supernova type white dwarfs has to be in a binary system in order to have that process. I think that's important. But you know, we did talk about that on the last show, and I think the one before that. So that'll be a good way to go back to those shows and get some of that information. So you know, you can better understand the process. And again, I just want to say, make sure, please, we had a good night. We're up to almost like 40 people in the building. We really appreciate that. Make sure you like the show. Make sure you share the show. And, you know, we share our Cash Apps because we use the money to be better. Like, I know I put my energy into getting a new laptop because I remember when I started doing content creating for PseudoKillas, I still got the old little cute little white Chromebook, but it wasn't doing its thing. It was lagging, you know, it was a couple of years old, already had a lot of stuff on it. So I went and got me a nice Mac Pro so it can be crisp, clear. I can have 20, you know, tabs up. I'm not lagging or anything like that to bring you a better show. And we still got some work to do on getting more equipment to do that. So, you know, y'all hit them Cash Apps. If it ain't but $1 from everybody, we'll take it. $1 for Anthony, $1 for Juju, and we Gucci. Like, seriously, because we definitely put that support to good usage to bring you better content. We also want to start subscribing to some of these, like the Journal of Nature. Well, they have one for astronomy, astrophysics. So we want to get into that so we can really bring y'all some nice, like on point right now type information that scientists are engaging in. You know what I'm saying? And some other things. We just, you know, we want to make it the best that we can possibly make it. We know that if we get somebody to help us work on the show and to make it look futuristic and got that glowing background, we know that's not going to be for free. So, you know, I'm learning. I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting good at this stuff though. I know y'all like that stuff.
Most definitely.
Y'all do an
The
awesome
thumbnail was
job.
hot. When I did it, I was like, dang, even the letters look like they eclipsing. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was in my bag with that at 3:30.
Oh, y'all do an awesome
You
job,
left
for real.
3:30 this
Yeah.
morning. You feel me on Canva, knowing I ain't paid that subscription.
Thank you, Miss
Wondering
Akina.
if they was gonna let me do it, but they let me do it. So I
Y'all
was
do
able
an
to like,
awesome job. No, y'all do. Y'all do.
Thank
Y'all
you.
really
So
do.
that's all. $1 for Anthony, $1 for me. Hit the cash app. Like and subscribe. Share the show. Make sure you click on that ring button and click us for priority, right? So you can get the notifications for this show, because we just want to do what we can to try to get everybody, get our community actively engaged in science.
And this is a family show.
It is a
You can
family
sit down
show.
with your kids.
Yeah, we don't try to cuss, and we don't try to be acting all ratchet and all that, rah-rah and drama that they be doing on them Vitamin shows. But before we do too much freestyle, I think I want to, y'all already know what we finna do, because I done already told y'all what it's about. It's still Women's History Month, y'all.
Come on.
Y'all.
I'm going to drop down, but I just want to tell y'all this was an awesome build. I appreciate it, and I'm going to get with y'all real soon. I'm going to go out. I'm going out. I'm camming up tomorrow to do, I don't know, I forget what the name of it is, but I will appreciate if y'all come in and come up, and we're going to talk about it. I think it's either the pulse, or I know it has something to do with a heartbeat or something that was going on
of the universe.
The wow is it might have been the wow. It's the wow. I think it's the wow sound, the wow signal. I think that's what it was. I think that's what it's called, the wow signal. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
the
wow.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. See, that's the problem. I'm laughing at the chat. Y'all dumb.
Yeah.
Afro
Ninja. Funny.
But appreciate you, Miss Akina. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll check that
Thank
out.
y'all so much again for having me. I'm going back in the chat though. So
thank you, sis.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
For those who don't know, that is Sakina Ra of Smoking Conversations with Sakina, y'all. So make sure y'all support and check out her podcast, because we're all about supporting each other. Don't get it twisted. All right, so I'm gonna go first this time, because I ain't gonna be
but before you go, Miss
Juju,
go ahead,
do your thing.
I gotta address Afro Ninja, man. I gotta stop.
I only let my kids watch something.
Man, y'all need to be stopped.
Stupid. That's hard. That's child neglect. Yo, I'm calling the CPS.
Man, you going to jail. That's what you doing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, Miss Juju, you can go ahead.
That's horrible. Oh my God. Y'all are funny. So let me go ahead. Y'all can see that clearly, right? Isn't she beautiful?
Very.
Yes. So remember, I told y'all for Women's History Month, I was going to focus on African women actively engaged in science today. Thank God I made that LinkedIn account, because I'm telling you, that's how I got the information. So you all are looking at the beautiful Dr. Adija Mani. She is from Cameroon. Y'all know where Cameroon at. That's Western Central Africa right there, okay? She is, I gotta find exactly what she does. She does a lot of stuff. So I know that she has her doctorate in medicine. She got that in, it's called FMBS, but that's in Cameroon. All right. But right now she's a lecturer researcher at the University of Yaoundé and the deputy director for vaccination at the Ministry of Public Health. Adija holds a doctorate of medicine for FMBS, that was in Cameroon, or on the continent of Africa. And she also has a master's of public health from Georgia State University. That's hot. In Atlanta, a postgraduate in pediatric nutrition from Boston University, and a certificate in public management from Virginia Commonwealth University. All right, she did her thing now. She was all over with it. She also works on vaccine hesitancy as a topic for her PhD. She is a recipient of the Excellence Award, the Fulbright, the Mandela Washington Fellowship, the Winston Grant, the Excellence Prize for Young Doctor Leaders, and the Immunization Championship Awards of 2021. She is fluent in French and English. And from what I was reading and what I saw, she is currently back in Cameroon working on lots of things. So her research interest is vaccinology. Her projects that she's working on is COVID vaccine development. Her disciplines is challenge study design, clinical trials efficacy, clinical trial safety, deployment, epidemiology, I messed that up, safety evaluations of social sciences. Yeah, so that's what Adija does. So and then the reason why I bought it out, because I think, the COVID conversation has been coming up or sneaking in a little bit. And for some reason, people have this idea or thought that Africans, don't want to move forward, don't want to evolve. They want to stay in the Stone Age. No, that's for some of us ignorant African Americans. Them Africans, they want every bit of the newest technology. They want every vaccine, safety measure, medical science that they can get. So for y'all thinking that y'all want to go back to what they was doing 300 years ago, they're not trying to do that, okay? Just if you didn't know. Now, preserving certain West African cultural aspects, that's something totally different. We're not talking about that, okay? We're not talking about preserving West African culture and tradition and things like that. We're just talking about, the totality of the situation. And some of you all make that very fallacious. So this is why, and also you separate countries in Africa from the rest of the world as far as scientific advancement. So it is my duty, and I will continue to express how much Africa and women in Africa are actively engaged in science. So, if the women are actively engaged, the men are there too, because the men usually go first. And that's just how it is. Not saying that's right or fair, but that's just the reality we live in. It's not patriarchy. No, I ain't gonna y'all gonna hear about that later, but again, I left some sources in there, and I left this one article from the Pan-African Journal of Medicine. Did y'all hear what I said? The PAMG. I don't know what I put MG, but it's the Pan-African Medicine Journal of Medicine, because like in French and Spanish, they turn stuff around. You feel me? But yeah. So yeah, y'all, they got a Pan-African Journal for Medicine in Cameroon. Well, not so much in Cameroon, but on the continent of Africa. So yeah, models talking about Pan-African done, Pan-African dead. Well, it don't look like it, okay? It ain't that dead. It's just that your ideas of Pan-Africanism and what Pan-Africanism really is and where it's going are aligning. So maybe some of y'all need to upgrade your definition. So that's why I always talk about the mischaracterization of Pan-Africanism, because every time I do these, I'm always showing you another Pan-African organization dealing with science and the advancement of people on the continent of Africa and in the diaspora initially. Okay. So yeah, that's Dr. Deja Amina for you all. And for for Women's History Month and International Women's Month, this is our chance to commemorate you, to thank you for your active engagement, and to give you your flowers. So cheers to you, Dr. Adija Amina. Yeah. Okay. So we got one more for y'all. For you. You ready, Anthony?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I appreciate that there, Miss Juju.
You like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always down with the sisters in science. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, boy.
I mean, like you just mentioned, it's unfortunately we live in a male-driven world.
The patriarchy. No.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's what it is. But
yeah.
to see our women making these accomplishments, you know, that's deep. So here we have Miss Stephanie Diane Wilson. She was born, you know, September 27, 1966. So she's not too much older than me, less than 60. You know what I'm saying? So she's a nice looking young lady there.
Some beautiful ladies.
She is an American engineer and a NASA astronaut, and she has flown on board 3 space shuttle missions. She is the second African American woman to go into space after Mae Jemison, which is one that we gave during Black History Month, if I'm not mistaken. It's Mae Jemison. And you know, she has logged in 42 days in space, and that is the second most of any female African American astronaut. So
that's pretty awesome.
She'll probably retake that lead this year because she's assigned to go on the Crew 9 mission here in 2024. So she's still working. You know what I'm saying? She's still doing her thing. But, well, and she graduated from Harvard University with a bachelor's, and she got her master's at the University of Texas in Austin. You know, so like I said, she's been on several missions. She's spent a lot of time orbiting this Earth, you know, to put it in scientific terms. But yeah, she's a wonderful influence for our young people for all young people in our community, you know, to strive for something greater than just, you know, being a person here on this earth, you know, to strive for something. She's made a career out of it. A beautiful African-American woman, you know, has built a career around astronomy. So yeah, like I say, she's an engineer. She's 57 years old. You know, she spent over almost 43 days in space. To be exact, it's 42 days, 23 hours, and 46 minutes. Man, y'all can get that sister that 14 minutes, man. You know, but yeah, she's
that's hilarious. But you know, science got to be right in the zag. So you feel me?
So we'll take that. They'll take that. You know, but like I said, she'll regain that lead this year on the next mission. And next week I'll get into the young lady who she'll be taking her original lead back from. So, but
what's her name? I think I know who you're talking about.
Her name is Jessica Watkins.
Oh no, I'm thinking of another. Yo, do y'all realize how many sisters have actually been involved with NASA as far as astronauts or whatnot? It's well over. It's a lot more than I thought. I'm not gonna even lie. I was like, dang.
Well, you know something, Miss JuJu? I've every week since Black History, I've given an African American woman that had something to do with NASA. You know, every week since we started with Black, because you know we didn't stop. We went from Black History, we went right into women's history. So for every week, I've given a different African American woman that has done something significant with NASA, or you know, it's met engineers or astronomers, astrophysicists, astronauts, whatever the case may be. But y'all have gotten, and that's, Miss Juju, some weeks Miss Juju was giving you 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the continent.
Yeah.
So this is a human endeavor,
Yeah.
a worldwide endeavor when it comes down to science.
Yeah.
It's for all people.
And it
You
ain't
know what
the
I'm
white
saying?
man's science. That was our thing. Like we gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? Because them pseudos always die at their source. So, they can't source up, so they gotta shut up. Like literally.
Yeah.
None of that. So yeah, we definitely want to salute these women in science for their active engagement and for their work as we speak. We're not talking about another 50 years, 100 years ago, right? We're talking about now. As we speak right now, these women are working. Anthony, did you have anything else to say about her? Because I want to put this other young lady up real quick.
No, that's it. That's it.
This is what I thought she was talking about, and I thought she was pretty awesome. And if I can find more information on her, I will. But this is Dr. Sian Proctor. This is all, see that she's in the space station right now. But yeah, I mean, Black women are doing their thing.
Yeah.
First Black woman mission pilot, Sian Proctor. So yeah, this is the stuff that I don't even show y'all. That.
But you know something, Miss Juju, it's the things that we give when with the PseudoKillas, the information that we give, a lot of it you can take that and turn it into a career.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? When Brother Unc breaking down the evolution and the anthropology, that's a career field.
It is.
You know what I'm
Paleontology,
saying? When y'all breaking down the brain with Marcus and Sosa and Kent and you guys doing that show. And
evolutionary psychologists, like there's so many things you can do.
Those are careers. You know, you can build careers off of that. That's why I say this is good for your children. Open their eyes up to different things.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
a lot out there that we can expose our kids to that will lead to something great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being a rapper or being an athlete isn't the only way to be successful.
Yeah, no.
That's just that's the way we see the most. That's what we're exposed to the most. But I'm going to tell you something right now. If I had the opportunity to leave this planet and go anywhere, I'm out. You ain't got to ask me twice. I'm out.
Yeah, I feel like, we limit ourselves and our children by only trying to focus on athletics and entertainment. You feel me? Because we know that we can get into those spaces easily because we're good at that, but we're good at a lot of things, and we can't be afraid of adversity to fulfill our dreams, to fulfill the things that are most advantageous towards us as a people. And I think that's what we're really trying to show overall. We're not limited to just being two particular things. We have contributed since the beginning of mankind to the most, how shall I say, scientific and intellectual of disciplines. And yeah, so that I always say perspective is important. Yes. So let's do our best to change the perspective, how we look at ourselves, how we look at what we have to offer or where we can go. Yeah, we got to change that perspective. So,
got to. I mean, you have to have a paradigm shift.
Yeah, definitely. Worldview.
That's what it's going to take.
Yeah, they taught me that in college. Paradigm shift, worldview. Like it's how you cultivate your worldview or that paradigm, and that's how you view reality in a sense. That dictate how you're gonna move through life. So I say perspective, that makes it easy, but maybe we'll make that on a conversation on a brain show or another spinoff of that in I know we're at 142. We don't want to go too long. I know it's been fun. Y'all been funny in the chat. I
Oh
love
yeah,
active engagement. Thank you, Sakina Ra. I really appreciate that.
yeah,
But
most definitely.
we will be doing the show Sunday. Normally do the brain show Sunday. Normally we start a new series, Depth of Expertise, and we've been having that on Wednesday. For chapter 2, Depth of Expertise, which I think we'll be spending time on that. It's the rest of chapter 1 and chapter 2. It did an intersection. So it talks about a lot of things we actually discussed in the brain show. So this Depth of Expertise show, You're Not as Smart as You Think You Are, is really going to be an intersection of the two. So that's what we're going to be doing Sunday. So join us at 8 p.m. And we're probably going to have our women's show commemorating Women's History or International Women's Month early Sunday afternoon because we wanted some more women to participate. So we'll be doing that, and who knows? That might be the beginning of a monthly show focused on the women because, be gone the patriarchy. We're here to tear all that down. Excuse my language, children. But yeah, y'all look forward to that.
Let's do it. It's time for a change.
You feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie.
Get some equality around this camp.
I'm gonna be petty a little bit. It may look like the men run PseudoKillas, but it's really the women that do it. I don't know if y'all know that, but I'm gonna let y'all know that. I'm just kidding. Oh, hell the queen.
Bravo. Bravo.
Especially Miss Tiffany. Gotta give shout out to Black Widow, Lady Killer, you know what I'm saying, in the building. Miss Lisa definitely be handling it at Omar left.
Yeah. Miss Lisa will give it to you, boy.
You feel me?
She'll give it to you.
I just had to get that off. Yo, I just had to do it all right. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding, y'all. But yeah, you just want to change that paradigm, change that perspective. And yeah, I think we did an excellent job on Women's History Month. We put in that work, right?
Oh yeah, we did.
We did some beautiful work, and yeah,
I mean, Black History Month was fire too.
Yeah, it was fire. But it's not gonna stop. Women's History Month, we're gonna keep going. Because what did y'all say? It's the white man's science. And we done gave y'all probably almost 100 scientists that are not white. No disrespect to any white scientists, because we know some great ones. Dr. Andy, you are the man. You feel me? Dr. Andy is that's what's up.
Yeah, most definitely.
He's
Dr. Farrar, that's my dude.
Yeah, I was going to get to them, Dr. Farrar. Those have probably been our favorite scientists. We've not only interviewed them live on the show, but they have been actively engaged just in our own little private conversations, and not private so much, but it's just like phone conversations, things like that. They have jobs, right? So they can't necessarily, be live on YouTube. They really have work, but if we email them, they email us back with the answers when we're asking questions. So we built those relationships. So those guys, they white, but they like it's like, especially Dr. Andy, but even Farah, like y'all don't understand, like these scientists, they're not used to maybe seeing people that are laymen, not in science, so actively engaged in it. And that's actually refreshing because that means that their work is not in vain, right? It's like people are actually excited about that. So it doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, but when someone sees that someone is excited about the work they're doing, they're going to engage you. They're going to keep tabs on you. You feel me? They're going to big you up. So yeah, that's how we're building relationships. And I think that's pretty awesome. So shout out to them. But when it comes to the manner of our community, think that it's just white men doing it. No, we want to show that science is a human endeavor and all of us are involved. Black men, Black women. Yeah. Shoot, and there's some children on the continent of Africa and not just Africa, but elsewhere that are just making trends in science. That's pretty amazing. So yeah. But I'm not.
And I mean, just all over the world, there's
all over the world.
James Webb was a world contribution. It was aspects of James Webb's that was made all around the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's a human endeavor. I can't, stress that enough. It's a human endeavor. And you absolutely right, Miss Juju, when you say how when we dealing with them scientists, when they find out how engaged you are, the more they want to go harder,
Yeah.
because I know in my talks with Dr. Farrar, a couple of times he's told me, we set a limit of about an hour.
Yeah, they be
But
like,
it's
keep going as long
hey
as
man,
you
yeah.
want.
He said, "Oh, I can postpone my next meeting. This is good." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, an expert is telling you they're going to propose their meeting because they want to engage your
because
conversation.
they like the engagement, just like you and I on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't no different from nobody else.
Right.
I love astronomy. I love to talk about
You
astronomy.
love it, y'all.
Look,
up here at 1, 2
and I don't
o'clock
need
in
but
the
one
morning.
person to listen.
And I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna be right there for you, Anthony.
Look, I'm telling you. So that's human nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of us, whatever our job is, we do. If we like that job, we like to talk about it. We'll get to somebody asks us a question and shit. We'll be talking for 2-3 hours.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's human nature.
I'm gonna be petty before we go. Yeah, shout out to the matriarchy. We coming for y'all. We coming, right? I think Elder Nubian, there's the matriarchy now, baby. You already know, Omar. I'm gonna be petty because Omar, I don't know why you don't listen to the queen. I tried to tell you, but nah, you want to ride in the car with Logic and Miss Tiffany. It's cute. Now it's cute, but I told you so. Whatever. Yeah. No, shout out to Miss Tiffany. She got a point. Talking about what she say? The reality is determinism. I was like, an illusion. We'll fight about that later though. Miss Valisa, what do I need to post? I'm not sure. Just you could type real quick because I don't want to I'm a compatibilist. Yeah, but it's an illusion. No.
Yeah.
I'm a free will. Yeah, free will is an illusion, but that's fine. He laughing. An Elder Nubian, y'all funny. I love how we just intertwined to my Andy shot him down. Andy shot a lot of people down, though. But no, he gave context to it, and I just want to say this. So when we had these conversations, I'm being petty. I'm gonna do it on live. When we had this conversation, when we talked about the illusion part, that was kind of, and I don't know, Bobby Banger. Logic was a compatibilist. He was arguing for compatibilism, Bobby Banger. So I don't know why you say you didn't hear that. I'll say that. And yeah, so when you say illusion, because we know that it's the illusion that we think we have free will. That's the whole point when we said that. Though Andy placed it better, like he reconstructed the argument, the conversation, the discussion, because he is an expert and he could do that, right? But that was when we gave rise to, we think that we have free will, but we really are in a deterministic reality. That's when we said it's an illusion. But if y'all want to act like that wasn't discussed for thousands of hours in the Discord for the last 4, 5, 6 months, y'all go right ahead. I ain't gonna. That's why I be like standing low and down because I don't know. I guess I do have a degree in criminology and I have a certificate, of expertise in one part. So, that's why I focus so much on ACEs. That's adverse childhood experiences, because, seeing it in a real life model, which that is, I think it, better helps you understand the argument. So for me, there was no way that I could be a compatibilist or, on the side of free will at all. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it is a philosophical argument. I feel like that one, the whole free will is more of it rides more on the religious side. Remember I said it's like on that cusp now. It's moving towards science as lots of things, if not all things. It started as, a philosophical conversation. And then, with more evidence and different things like that, and we can quantify it, qualify it, all that good stuff. Now it's science. So, we're kind of seeing it in real time. But we'll do that for next time. So just join us Sunday. We'll see you here next week. I'll be in Egypt. 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Egypt. Yeah, that's going to be fun. I won't be reporting live, y'all. So I'm going to let y'all know I'll be on vacation. But is probably gonna do a few things. Yeah, I ain't messing with y'all. Y'all can have it. What
Yeah.
up, Babylon Done? Thank you for supporting. But Anthony, you know, we're gonna set it up. He's gonna do some few things, probably do some astronomy club. I'll probably give him to go ahead and sit in the driver's seat. You feel me? Because Anthony, I don't know, but yeah,
I can. I think I'll be able to handle it. It's just I won't be able to probably share like you share.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We'll talk. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk some people into
And
stuff, but
peace to you, Babylon Don. Peace to you, my brother.
absolutely. So Elder Nubian, you stupid. I
Yeah.
can't do you. But that's all we want to talk about. I blocked my mouth a little too long. Shoot, trying to make it even 2 hours. Do you have any final words before I push that button?
No, just I want to thank everyone for supporting us as always.
Yeah,
I love the interaction in the chat. I mean, y'all,
correct.
bro, it's getting better and better every week.
It is.
I really do appreciate it. I hope y'all can take this information, man, and pass it on. Like, share the show. Check out, the whole family of shows. We got the Brain Show going. We getting into the Death of Expertise. Of course, you got the God Killer with Community of Skeptics going in just about daily.
Yeah.
We do it over here every week. So, yeah, I appreciate it. Y'all go get y'all a globe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we
Go
can
get a
really
globe.
understand how this thing works and understand what we experience here naturally. And remember, like I always say, when you're scientifically literate, they can't drag you down to their level and beat you up with experience.